Hello friends, welcome to my channel, Grandma Katie Crochets. My name is Karen and I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate. So this week, I need to apologize to my regulars. I did not put out a video last week. I've been really busy. My hands have been so busy attempting to get projects finished. I completely forgot to do a video last week. So anyway, I'm getting one done this week. It's Monday night, and yeah, I've been pretty busy. Last week, if you saw my video, if you didn't, I will show it to you. I was working on this knitted blanket. It's called the Cherry Wine Knit Blanket, and it is a blanket that you use blanket yarn. There we go. This is a size 6 in weight. You can see that it's blanket yarn. It's big, it's squishy, it feels so nice. I'm using a size 13 needle to knit this blanket with. The pattern only called for a size, the pattern called for a size 11 needles to knit it with. However, my size 11s are busy with another project. So I decided to use my 13s, and I'm really kind of glad I did because this yarn is very thick. And I introduced this yarn last week. This is not Bernat blanket. This is something called Knitteruna, Knyteruna. And I did provide the link of last week's video for this yarn. I found this on Amazon, and it's been a great yarn. And you know what? I'm going to give a short review here. It knits excellence, and I have had to frog it because last week there are 16 rows. 16 rows equals one piece of the pattern. So it's 16 rows to the pattern, and it looks pretty much like this. Okay. At any rate, the 16 rows, I did 3 rounds of the 16 rows, and I was almost completely finished with the first skein. I bought 4 skeins of this yarn. I was almost completed with the first skein of yarn, and I realized my count was off so far. This blanket was going wonky really fast. I had to frog it all the way back to the end of round 1. And I'm telling you what, this is really good yarn. If you have to frog it, you're not going to have issues frogging it. It was great. So that being said, I was getting started with that. I frogged it back to the first round and started over, and it's knitting up so nicely. The pattern is coming out exactly as it shows in the picture and all of that. It's great yarn. I like it. To me, it's as good as Bernat blanket yarn. Okay, it's really good. I'm loving it, and it's soft, it's squishy, it feels good in my hands, and I'm not usually one to knit with blanket yarn. I don't really, it's not my thing to knit with blanket yarn. But my daughter wanted a soft, squishy blanket yarn Afghan for Christmas this year. So I'm working on this. I'm hoping to get this finished now. And there was another project that interrupted it, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. So there's that. So the project that interrupted that blanket is this. And I'm going to cover my face again. This is my son's sweater. Now, my son, he is a very tall man, and I will share his picture with you. I finished his sweater. He put it on. I took pictures. This sweater came out great, and I just simply used, okay, I'm going to preface it by saying this. My son is 6'6.5", so he is very tall. He has a very long torso. I found this sweater pattern on Yarnspirations. For the life of me, I cannot remember what the name of it is. It's like the father crochet sweater something. I will put the link and the information in the description for you so you get it. That being said, so I found and the reason I chose this pattern is because it came in his size, which is a 3XL, and I had to add extra rows because he is so tall. So it's a 3XLT. Okay. The pattern was only 3XL. Okay. I created it when I started knitting, crocheting this pattern. I had to add extra rows, so I made it into a 3XLT. Okay, so I'm gonna explain to you what I did. So he has really long arms too. So in the arms, they're very long. So in the arms, this cuff, this ribbed cuff, is only supposed to be 2.5 inches wide. I had to add 2 extra rows of ribbing, which makes it 3.5. So I added another full 1 inch to the cuff, to each cuff. And then on the sleeves, when I'm doing the sleeves, I was supposed to stop when I got 67 stitches wide, because it's a kind of a trapezoid type thing. You add 1 stitch to the end of each row to make it be as wide as it needs to be when you get to the top. So I did that, but then I left it at the 67 stitches, but I added 4 more rows on top of what was already there. So my row count on this for the extra length is 40 rows instead of the 36 rows that it should have been. I added 4 more to make it 40. So that's what I did with that. Now, for the body part, for the front and the back, because you crochet the front, you crochet the back, you crochet each arm, and then you sew them together. So for the front and the back, and you crochet this from the bottom to the top, okay? It's not a raglan. It's a bottom to the top. So again, the ribbing on the bottom, I originally put 4 rows of the ribbing, but that wasn't quite long enough because he came over this afternoon and tried it on again. It still wasn't quite long enough. So I added another 3 rows. So that is making it. Let me see if I can find my seam gauge, because my other one fell on the floor. Unless I can find it. Here it is. Okay, so 7 rows of this ribbing is again 3.5 inches long. So I did that, and then from the first row at the top of the ribbing, so you do the ribbing and then you start crocheting the sweater. So from the bottom up to where the armpit is only supposed to be 16.5 inches long. However, because of my son's length, the length of his torso, I added several more rows, which made it 19.5 inches long in length. So I had to do that for his height. Okay, so the other thing I did, so when I divided it off where the underarm was, and then when I got to the shoulder, I added 4 more rows so that, just because he's such a tall man, okay? So I added rows where I thought I could get away with it. Okay. And then the neck on this, for some reason, the first time I made it didn't turn out very well. And, but anyway, I did not use this specific yarn. I used a different yarn, and it didn't turn out very well. But what happened was, the way they have you do the neck, my son likes kind of a mock turtleneck type with his sweaters. So he wanted it a little tighter. The neck was too loose. I'll say it that way. They made the neck kind of wide, and that wasn't working for him because I tried it on him before I put the ribbing on the neck. And so the width of the neck wasn't exactly working for him. So what I did was, when I did the shoulders, when I came into the neck, I crocheted 2 extra stitches on the left side and 2 extra stitches on the right side to pull that neck in just a little bit. And then I did the ribbing, and the ribbing is only 4 rows, which is, it was perfect for him. He liked it like that. So if I had made it longer, if I had left the neck, those 4 extra 4 stitches and made it wider, I could have made my son would have liked it if I had left those extra 4 stitches and made a wider neckband and made this into a turtleneck, because he likes turtlenecks. I did not know that until I was making this sweater. But anyway, I ended up making those adjustments for him, and he's tried this on several times during the making of this. And I've written all these notes. I have a project planner that I found online. So I've been making all my notes, exactly what I did to it, what size hook I used for the sweater, everything. And it came out perfect. I even have some Grandma Katie labels, and I sewed that on so he could tell the back from the front. It says, "Made with tender loving care, Grandma Katie," by Grandma Katie. Anyway, that's beside the point. So anyway, this sweater, I finally finished it this evening. It is done. He's out Christmas shopping. When he gets done Christmas shopping, he's going to stop back by here and get this sweater. I'm so happy to have this done. I feel like I can breathe now. Yes. Okay. That is what I've been working on this week, but that's why I didn't do a video last week, is because I've been so involved with this sweater and trying to get the sweater right, and my daughter's Afghan, trying to get that correct. I hate it when I have to count stitches all the time, but with that blanket, I do have to pay attention to where I am in the pattern so that it comes out correctly. So the other thing that happened last week is I got Happy Mail again. Yay! I love Happy Mail. So what Happy Mail did I get? I will tell you. I put in an order for Premier Yarn. Yay! I love Premier Yarn. I'm not affiliated. They're not paying me or anything. I like Premier Yarn. Okay. Don't tell anybody. I like it almost better than I liked Big Twist. It's slightly stiffer and sturdier than Big Twist. I just like it. Okay. So I ordered several skeins. There was a purpose for it. The first color I ordered, it is called Snowfall Shimmer, and it's got sparklies in it. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I got everything I got. I ordered 2 skeins of each of the colors that I ordered. So I ordered two skeins of this. And then when I got it, for the life of me, I cannot remember why I ordered this specific color, but I know it will hit me at some point and I will remember what I was supposed to do with it. So yeah, there's that. It's like when you go into, after you get past a certain age, you go into a room and you're like, now why did I come in this room? Yeah, it's one of those. Okay, I know there was a purpose for this yarn, but for the life of me, I cannot remember why I bought it. Okay, there's that story. Then the rest of this yarn, I got 2 skeins of each of this yarn. This is the color teal. Now, this is Premier Basics Chunky. The rest of this is all of these next few skeins that you're going to see are all Premier Basics Chunky. It is a number 5 weight bulky. In each skein, there is 117 yards or 107 meters. They are each 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. They are 100% acrylic. You can wash and machine wash cold and tumble dry. So there, and it's been tested and approved against 350 harmful substances. So it's the EOKE, or however they say that at any rate. So this specific teal color, I purchased this. I thought it was going to go with all the other colors that I purchased, but it doesn't match the type of blue that the other skeins are. So these 2 skeins of teal are going to do something completely different than the other skeins will. Okay, so there's that. So the next 4 colors, 1, 2, 3. I thought I had 4 colors. No. Okay, there's only 3 colors. All right. So these colors, the reason I purchased these is because I wanted to do a scarf that is like a fade. So I'm going to go from the darkest to the lightest. There they are. The darkest color is called Heritage Blue, and this is all Premier Basics yarns. It's Premier Basics Chunky. Because I wanted a chunky scarf, because I found a really nice pattern that I like. Okay, this blue, this specific blue is called Citadel. And then this specific blue is Faded Denim. So there it is. And I can't decide if I want to go in the order of well, I know I want to start out with this one because this is my darkest one, but I can't decide which one I want next. Do I want the Faded Denim or do I want the Citadel? I think I'm going to go in this order right here. So tell me what you think. Okay, so I showed you the yarn that I wanted to do a fade scarf. I wanted to fade the colors. So I have two different patterns to choose from. I haven't decided which one I want to do yet. This one, it's called the Fiona Simple Cabled Scarf. And this is from a book. This is a borrowed pattern. My friend copied it from a book that she purchased. So I do not have a link for this, but that's what it looks like right there. And sorry about the glare. I apologize for that. And it will be 8 1/4 inches wide by 75 inches long. It only calls for one color for the entire scarf, and it calls for 3 skeins of the color, a size 11 knitting needles, and again my 11s are busy, so I will use my 13s. We'll see if that, I know it's going to affect the gauge and all that, but it's okay. So at any rate, I may go with this Fiona Simple Cabled Scarf. Or the other one that I really wanted to do, it calls for 7 balls. I think I can get away with probably 6 that I purchased for this. It calls for 7 3.5 ounce skeins. This one is called the Cozy Cable Wrap, and it is a Premier pattern. So there it is. That's a really nice pattern. I like that. That looks like it's going to be a very thick, very cozy, comfortable scarf. And the specific pattern is called the Staghorn Cable Pattern. So, and it gives the description on how to do the Staghorn cable and then a reverse Staghorn cable. So that's what I like about Premier. I like their patterns. I like the way they write their patterns. And all of that. But anyway, so that one or that one, and if I do the Cozy Cable Wrap, if I decide to do that one, I will leave the link in the description. And the sweater that I crocheted for my son, he just came and picked it up. And I did get a couple of good pictures with him wearing his sweater. He loves his sweater. Now he wants one in blue and one in cream. So he wants 2 more sweaters because he's really loving it. So it is called the Crochet Father Pullover. It is by Yarnspirations. It looks like this pattern was established or copyrighted, written, whatever, in April of 2024. The designer is Melissa Leitman. And that's what the sweater looks like on the pattern. I will leave the link in the description, so make sure you go to the description to find out where to go get that. It's at Yarnspirations, but I'm going to leave the link anyway. The size of, okay, so so this pattern for the Crochet Father Pullover, oh, excuse me, it calls for a worsted weight, which is a medium size 4-weight yarn. So that's why I used Red Heart. It calls for a size I and J, size I and size J hooks. However, in order to get the fit correct for my son, I went down to a size H hook for the ribbing, and I did the size I hook for the rest of it, and it worked out better. Last year, I made this same sweater, and I used the size I and the size J hook. The size J seemed to be too big, and it stretched out the sweater and gave it a gauge that the sweater was too stretchy, it was too big, it was too clunky. It just did not work. I'll say it that way. So I went down to a H for the ribbing, and then I for the body and the arm, for the body and the arms of the sweater. So there's that. And that's what I have been working on this week, making decisions, attempting to get that sweater done for my son, which I did finish the sweater. It has been delivered. Merry Christmas to my son. He loves it. He loves his sweater. Yes, sir, he does. But anyway, so happy mail, sweaters getting done, Afghans getting knitted and crocheted, of course. What else? I can't think of anything else I need to say for this video except a very, very Merry Christmas, a very Happy New Year, and I will see you